take a look at the extremism that we face across the globe. I just want to give you a little scenario that we chatted about slightly just before we walked into this hall with the Honorable Minister. I tell you something. If you take a look at what happened in Brussels, absolutely unacceptable from any aspect. You are killing innocent people, men, women and children who have nothing to do with the war that you are using as a reason for doing this. Do you get the point? A lot of those who died were Muslim. Do you know that? A lot of those who died were considering entering into the fold of Islam. A lot of those who died were against the war. A lot of those who died may have not even voted. You know, I'm using these examples because these are some of the things these people have said. The people who have perpetrated crimes, they say no, the public are definitely guilty. They are warriors because they voted the people into power who are now attacking the nations. Listen, how do you know where they put their vote? How they casted their vote? How do you know? Even if you casted your vote for such and such a person, it does not necessarily mean that you agree with everything they've done. This is hypothetically, this is obviously from a certain angle. But for me, no matter what it was, it's still wrong. However, they say that because you attacked someone far away, we are now attacking you. I said that's unacceptable. But the point I want to raise is the problem of extremism is not only among the Muslims. Immediately after Brussels, in London, in Paris, in America, in Belgium, in so many other countries, non-Muslims began to attack Muslims. Do you know that? So many that the women in hijab, men who look like Muslims, men who were not even Muslim. There was a Sikh who's, a Sikh is a totally different faith. But because he has a beard and a turban, he was attacked. By whom? By the same type of bigots, but belonging to a different faith. Sometimes not even a faith, an ideology. What were they doing? They said, you guys attacked us in Belgium, we're gonna wipe you out, we're gonna do this. There are statements being uttered even by politicians today that we wonder what their IQ is. Someone asked me, what do you think the IQ of these people who are uttering such comments is? And I said, I don't know. They said, I don't even think they have an IQ. It's like -10. I don't know. But if you hear the statements, you get shocked. People in authority saying things that are absolutely absurd. They haven't studied. If it is human nature that if you were to punch me, I would want to defend myself. But if you were to punch me and because I couldn't punch you back, I decided to punch someone sitting next to you, I am the fool. But that's happening on both sides or on all sides. The reason is, let's take a look at Brussels. Like I said, those who perpetrated such a heinous crime are saying that you punched someone, now we want to punch someone else because we can't punch you back. And at the same time, after they did it, and do you agree with me, none of us seated here, and none of the vast majority of the 2 billion Muslims on earth agreed with what happened in Brussels. Do you agree? Yes. We don't agree with what happened. None of us have agreed, but you pay a price. For who? A group of people who have a warped understanding. You pay a price. Try and travel today to Belgium. Oh, what happens? You pay a price. Not only Belgium, anywhere. Apply for a visa to somewhere. See, you don't blame them for having scrutinized people a little bit more. But even if you were to get there legitimately, some of these nations, the advanced nations, the United States of America, for example, they face a problem where there are bigots who attack the Muslims as a result of the actions of a few Muslims. That's exactly how some of the Muslims attack the non-Muslims as a result of the actions of some of those non-Muslims. That's what we're saying. So, when you're a leader, you look deeper than just the statements in the media. You look very deep. It's called al-fiqhu, a deep understanding. What happens? You start asking yourself, look, we need solution, man. The solution. What is the cause? So now they start making you blame one another. As you know, there is politics amongst the sects of the Muslims. It's nothing to hide. Among the different sects of Muslims, this one belongs to this sect, that one belongs to that sect. There is always animosity, and it becomes a game just like politics, where each one wants to gain a following and each one wants to portray that they have the upper hand and so on. And sometimes they become very low in their approach. So what happens? The Muslim becomes confused. So we seize the opportunity, just like political parties. If one man made a political error, for example, And I'm definitely not speaking about Malaysia because I don't want to interfere in your internal politics. I just pray. You know what I said right at the beginning? As a foreigner, I just pray for the peace of your nation. Whatever you want to do, please make sure that the solutions to your problems do not create bigger problems. That's all I'm saying. The solutions you want for your nation, think hard, very, very hard, because this nation is like a fragile piece of artwork that has been painted through years, decades, centuries into such a beautiful painting. Don't try and correct a little cobweb on your painting in a way that you break the entire painting. That's all I'm saying. You want to correct something, do it in a way that will solve the matter. I sit and I think about Syria, I think about Libya, I think about Afghanistan, I think about so many other nations, I think about Yemen, and I tell myself, if they sat around the table for 50 years, it would have been better than to take that nation back 100 years. People are not patient. You don't want to sit around a table. People become impatient. A leader is not impatient. Look at the Prophet, peace be upon him, he was patient. One after, he had the help of revelation of Allah. He was a prophet, but still he was very patient. When the opportunity came, yes, it happened. But he waited for that. He was not impatient. If Allah wanted, the messenger could have come and in 5 minutes he'd deliver the message and walk away. But Allah wanted it to last 23 years. Do you know that? Why do we want solution quickly? Sometimes when you are impatient, your impatience creates a bigger problem than the one you are trying to solve on the ground. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back to the other issues.